Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Anuja Kumar and with me is Reshma Tiwari with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says timely initiatives of government and a people-driven fight has kept India at a better position in the fight against COVID-19. High-level group of ministers meet in New Delhi to discuss the status response and management of coronavirus pandemic in the country. Sero survey being conducted in the national capital to check the spread of coronavirus. President Ram Nath Kovind promulgates Banking Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2020. And India calls for reformed multilateralism to restore faith in meaningful and equal partnerships. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that powered by the corona warriors, India is firmly fighting COVID-19. Addressing an event through video conferencing to mark the special occasion of the 90th birthday of the most revered Dr. Joseph Mar Thoma Metropolitan, the Prime Minister said earlier this year some people had predicted that the impact of the virus in India would be very severe. He said due to the lockdown, many initiatives taken by the government and a people-driven fight, India is much better placed than many other nations.
You will be happy to know that, powered by our corona warriors, India is firmly fighting COVID-19. Earlier this year, some people had predicted that the impact of the virus in India would be very, very severe. But due to lockdown and many initiatives taken by the government, as well as a people-driven fight, India is much better placed than many other nations. India's recovery rate is rising. Any loss of life is unfortunate due to COVID or otherwise.
He said a people-driven fight has given good results so far, but we cannot let our guard down.
Lakhs of villages, home to 85 crore people, remain almost untouched by coronavirus. A people-driven fight has given good results so far, but can we let our guard down? No, not at all. In fact, we have to be even more careful now, wearing masks, social distancing, 2 gaj ki duri, avoiding crowded places, regular hand washing. These remains important at the same time.
The Prime Minister said in the last few weeks, the Government of India has addressed both short-term and long-term issues relating to the economy.
We have to focus on economic growth and prosperity for 130 crore Indians. Wheels of trade and commerce have to move. Agriculture has to flourish. In the last few weeks, the government of India has addressed both short-term and long-term issues relating to the economy. From the sea to space, from the farms to the factories, people-friendly and growth-friendly decisions have been taken. The call for Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, will ensure economic strength and prosperity for every Indian.
The Prime Minister said the government wants to ensure better technology, infrastructure and making value chains stronger. He said the government has taken decisions not from comfortable government offices in Delhi, but after the feedback from people on the ground. He added, it is this spirit that ensured every Indian has access to a bank account. He said over 8 crore families have access to smoke-free kitchens and over 1.5 crore houses have been made to give shelter to the homeless. He added that India is home to the largest healthcare scheme in the world, Ayushman Bharat. The Prime Minister said, for the poor, the government is bringing One Nation, One Ration Card scheme to help them where they are. He said for the middle class, the government has brought a number of initiatives to boost the ease of living. The Prime Minister added, for farmers, government has increased the minimum support price and made sure they get the right price. He said the people should think how can their actions contribute to the national development. Prime Minister Narendra Modi conveyed his greetings to the most revered Dr. Joseph Mar Thoma Metropolitan and wished him a long life and best health. He said Dr. Joseph Mar Thoma has devoted his life for the betterment of the society and the nation, and he has been particularly passionate about removal of poverty and women empowerment. The Prime Minister said the Mar Thoma Church is closely linked with the noble ideals of Saint Thomas, the apostle of Lord Christ. He added India has always been open to spiritual influences from many sources. A meeting of the high-level group of ministers GOM on COVID-19 is underway in New Delhi. It is being chaired by Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan. The GOM will be briefed about the latest status, response and management of COVID-19 in the country. The GOM is expected to be briefed on the progress made in the spheres of the tasks assigned to 11 empowered groups. It would also be apprised about the growing medical infrastructure in the country. The group of ministers will have in-depth deliberation on containment strategy and management aspects of COVID-19. External Affairs Minister, Civil Aviation Minister, Minister of State for Home, Minister of State for Shipping and Chemical and Fertilizers, Minister of State for Health are part of the GOM. Chief of Defence Staff is also a part of it. The Health Ministry has issued revised clinical management protocol for COVID-19. Glucocorticosteroid dexamethasone has now been allowed as an alternative to methylprednisolone 1 for moderate and severe COVID-19 patients in need of oxygen support who experience excessive inflammatory response. For patients with progressive deterioration of oxygenation indicators, rapid worsening on imaging, and excessive activation of the body's inflammatory response, glucocorticoids can be used for a short period of time for 3 to 5 days. The protocol said a large dose of glucocorticoid will delay the removal of coronavirus due to immunosuppressive effects. For pregnant severe cases, consultations with obstetric, neonatal and intensive care specialists are essential. Patients often suffer from anxiety and they should be supported by psychological counseling.
The Union Government today said that a total of 2,95,881 people affected with coronavirus have been cured in the country. During the past 24 hours, 10,244 people have recovered from COVID-19 and the recovery rate reached to 58.13%. Presently, the total number of active corona cases in the country is 1,97,387. Health and Family Welfare Ministry said a total of 18,552 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported in the country within 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 5,08,953. This is the highest spike in fresh cases since the outbreak of the pandemic in India. 384 deaths have been reported in a single day, taking the nationwide toll to 15,685. Indian Council of Medical Research ICMR has said that a total of 2,20,479 tests of coronavirus samples were conducted by the various laboratories in the country within 24 hours. This is the highest number of tests conducted by the laboratories in the country since the outbreak of COVID-19 in India. So far, 79,96,707 tests have been conducted. ICMR is continuously scaling up its testing facilities for COVID-19 by giving approval to government and private laboratories. The serological survey is being conducted in Delhi. This survey is being carried out jointly by the National Centre for Disease Control, NCDC, and Delhi government. Details from our correspondent.
The survey is being conducted in all the districts of Delhi to understand the proportion of population exposed to corona infection. 2 age categorization have been set to conduct the survey. One is for below 18 years of age group and another for above 18 years. The survey involves collection of blood samples from 20,000 individuals. Blood samples are being collected for detecting IgG antibodies using an IgG ELISA kits. The collected blood samples will be tested in a lab using antibody testing kits to understand whether the person was infected by the virus and developed antibodies against it. A report will be submitted to the government after the completion of survey. The serological survey is part of a revised COVID response plan decided by the Delhi government as per the directions received from the Health and Family Welfare Ministry. Depending upon the level of seroprevalence of infection, appropriate public health interventions can be planned and implemented for prevention and control of the disease. As per the Indian Council of Medical Research, periodic sero-survey are useful to guide the policy makers to conduct surveys in high-risk areas or vulnerable population. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal today said highest number of 21,144 COVID tests were conducted in a single day in the national capital yesterday. In a tweet, the Chief Minister informed that city government has increased testing by 4 times. He said Delhi is now following strategy of very aggressive testing and isolation. As per the ICMR directives, the Mumbai civic body would soon be conducting a sero-survey in 3 wards of the metropolis to know the extent of the spread of coronavirus in Mumbai. The survey will be conducted in association with the Niti Aayog, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research TIFR, and some other institutions. During the survey, 10,000 random blood samples will be tested. Mumbai's civic body said that the study will provide information. Information would include exposure to infection and progression of the disease in the population, which will be critical to make informed public health policy decisions. More on this from a Mumbai correspondent.
The new survey to be conducted by the Mumbai civic body in the wake of rising number of coronavirus cases will be conducted in the age group about 12 years and a total of 10,000 blood samples will be collected. These samples will be randomly collected from both slum and non-slum areas. The blood samples will be sent to Kasturba Molecular Diagnostic Lab and Translational Health Science and Technology Institute, Faridabad, for detecting immunoglobulin G antibodies. The detection of antibodies is considered as a sign of exposure to COVID-19 infection. Meanwhile, the Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh, who visited suburbs in North Mumbai, said that buildings in congested areas and slums in the region will be sealed considering the rise in COVID-19 cases in the last 15 days. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
Indore in Madhya Pradesh is amongst the 10 most corona-infected cities of the country. All efforts are being made to prevent infection in the city by the government machinery. Mobile app 311 has proved to be most useful in this direction. The Prime Minister's office has also shown interest in this app. Our correspondent reports that so far 4,575 people have been infected and 218 people have lost their lives. A report.
Indore 311 app has been helping to contact tracing of corona-infected people and monitoring suspected patients in the city. Home isolated patients are also being monitored through this app. The 311 app was launched by the Indore Municipal Corporation on 2nd October 2016. It is based upon 311 non-emergency number in the United States and Canada for providing information and tracking city services. So far, more than 2 lakh people have installed the app and more than 500 complaints are lodged through this app every day. Indore 311 application provides citizens a single platform to access information about various public services. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Complete lockdown is in force in Madurai Corporation and adjoining municipal areas due to increasing trend of COVID-19. A specialized care center has been operationalized at the Tamil Nadu Agri-University campus at Ottakadai. In Mizoram, a fresh COVID-19 positive case was reported in the last 24 hours. With this, the total positive case for COVID-19 infections in the state has reached 148. Our correspondent reports that new confirmed patient has been staying at a quarantine center after returning from Delhi. Out of the total 148 positive cases till date, 47 patients have been cured and discharged from hospital and 101 are active cases. 4 new people have been tested positive in Nagaland, taking the total confirmed COVID-19 positive cases to 375 in the state. Currently, there are 213 active cases in the state. 162 people have recovered. No death has been reported in the state. Minister of Health S. Pangyung Phom in a tweet this morning informed that 4 new cases of COVID-19 positive have been reported out of 393 samples tested. He said all cases are from the Dimapur quarantine center.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of some leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, Dr. Uma Kumar, Head of Rheumatology Department AIMS, suggested to the people to follow social distancing, hand hygiene and cough etiquettes.
Only thing which helps is social distancing or physical distancing. Along with it, you have like hand hygiene, washing your hands very frequently, and cough etiquettes like while coughing or sneezing, just cover your face and nose. Use tissue paper or cloth, or if you don't have anything, you can just cough into your elbows. So third thing is using the face mask. For a general public, you can use cotton face mask, and then they have to be very positive. Don't give up, and surely we'll conquer over this virus.
President of Public Health Foundation of India, Dr. K. Srinath Reddy said, India is in a much better position as compared to rest of the world as far as the COVID-19 cases are concerned, and the measures taken are yielding results.
We started getting affected later than many other countries, but we are presently in a much better position than the rest of the world, and in that sense, we are better protected. Right now, it appears that our measures taken progressively from February are now paying dividends and showing results.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says timely initiatives of government and a people-driven fight has kept India at a better position in the fight against COVID-19. High-level group of ministers meet in New Delhi to discuss the status, response and management of coronavirus pandemic in the country. Sero-survey being conducted in the national capital to check the spread of coronavirus. President Ramnath Kovind promulgates Banking Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2020. And India calls for reformed multilateralism to restore faith in meaningful and equal partnerships. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
अपने साथ अपनों का ध्यान रखो, बड़े बुजुर्गों का तुम ध्यान रखो, तो बात करो, कुछ मदद करो, कोरोना के चलते याद रखो, घर की सफाई ना भूलना, हाथों को धोना मत भूलना, सुरक्षित दादा दादी नाना नानी अभियान, अपने साथ अपनों का ध्यान.
Asserting that the world stands at a transformative moment, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has said that a dispassionate scrutiny and reform of all multilateral entities were needed to make them purpose-built for the current times and a representative of this century. Addressing a virtual ministerial meeting of Alliance for Multilateralism yesterday, Dr. Jaishankar said it is an empirical fact that every process and institution must evolve to meet the needs of its time. He said no institution, howsoever important, can remain frozen at the moment of its foundation. The minister said this is why India continued to call for reformed multilateralism, one that is relevant for the age in which we live, not when this architecture was erected. Dr. Jaishankar said the world is facing a two-pronged attack of a pandemic and misinformation going viral. The minister said the pandemic has devastated the globalized economic system, apart from taking a toll of over 4 lakh lives, and it has fundamentally affected the way people live. He said suspicion of human interaction is fueled more often than not by fake news, wrong information and targeted disinformation. Dr. Jaishankar asserted that the way forward to address both of the challenges is similar and said that there is a need to strengthen the belief in scientific approaches. He said we must set aside politics and focus on facts. Dr. Jaishankar said, as chair of the WHO Executive Board, India is ready to work towards these goals. The Alliance for Multilateralism, launched by the French and German foreign ministers, is an informal network of countries united in their conviction that a rule-based multilateral order is the only reliable guarantee for international stability and peace. President Ramnath Kovind has promulgated the Banking Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2020 in pursuance of the commitment to ensure safety of depositors across banks. The ordinance amends the Banking Regulation Act 1949 as applicable to cooperative banks. It seeks to protect the interests of depositors and strengthen cooperative banks by improving governance and oversight by extending powers already available with the RBI in respect of other banks to cooperative banks. The amendments do not affect existing powers of the state registrars of cooperative societies under state cooperative laws. The amendments do not apply to primary agricultural credit societies or cooperative societies whose primary object and principal business is long-term finance for agricultural development. The ordinance also amends Section 45 of the Banking Regulation Act to enable making of a scheme of reconstruction or amalgamation of a banking company for protecting the interest of the public, depositors and the banking system and for securing its proper management.
Petrol price increased by 25 paise per litre and diesel by 21 paise per litre today. The price of 1 litre of petrol now is 80 rupees 38 paise, while diesel is priced at 80 rupees 40 paise per litre in the national capital. Nagaland Excise Department seized contraband drugs worth 66,72,000 rupees during June 2019 to June 2020. Deputy Commissioner of Excise Narcotics Cell S. Shan Leang said the seizures include over 8,000 bottles of cough syrup, 240 kilograms of ganja, over 10,000 Spasmoproxivon capsules, nitrosin tablets, heroin, morphine, and over 3,000 kilograms of poppy straw. The Deputy Commissioner of Excise was speaking during the observation of International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking yesterday.
Uttar Pradesh Madhyamik Shiksha Parishad has declared the results of 10th and 12th examinations 2020. Deputy Chief Minister and Education Minister Dinesh Sharma announced the results in Lucknow today. He said that 74.63% students have cleared the intermediate exam, whereas 83.31% students passed Class 10 papers. He also announced the reward of 1 lakh rupees cash and a laptop to the toppers of the exams. Chief Minister of State Yogi Adityanath congratulated the students and said that despite COVID pandemic, UP board successfully conducted the exams and despite the lockdown, declared the results on time.
Anurag Malik from Nagpur has topped the intermediate exams this year with 97% marks, while Riya Jain from the same district has topped in high school exams with 96% marks. Deputy Chief Minister and PWD Minister of the State, Keshav Prasad Maurya, congratulated the students and said that his department will construct roads till the homes of 20 toppers of the examinations. Higher Education Minister Dr. Dinesh Sharma said that the results of both classes 10th and 12th is better than previous year. Percentage of successful girl students is higher than boys in both examinations. This year, more than 30 lakh students had appeared for Class 10 exams, while around 26 lakh students appeared for intermediate exams. This time, students will get digital certificates of the results. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Gujarat, 5 of the 8 former Congress MLAs who resigned from the membership of the State Assembly ahead of recently concluded 4-seat Rajya Sabha elections joined the BJP today. All 5 former MLAs have been inducted in the BJP at BJP's state headquarters, Kamalam in Gandhinagar. Congress MLAs who resigned ahead of Rajya Sabha elections in the state are Praveen Maru from Gadada, Pradyumna Singh Jadeja from Adbasa, Soma Koli Patel from Limri, J.V. Kakadia from Dhari, and Mangal Bhai Gavit from Dang. Another 3 former Congress MLAs who resigned in the month of June are Akshay Patel from Karjan, Jitu Chaudhary from Kaprada, and Brijesh Mirja from Morbi.
Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa laid the foundation stone for the 108 feet tall bronze statue of Bengaluru founder Kempegowda near the state capital's International Airport today. The statue will cost around 78 crore rupees and is likely to be ready in a year and a half. Today is Kempegowda's 511th Jayanti. On this occasion, the Chief Minister also laid the foundation stone for the development of 23 acres theme park in memory of the founder of Bengaluru. The Department of Space Secretary Dr. K. Sivan has said the space sector reform allowing private players is not going to diminish the role of the National Space Agency, ISRO, in any way. Addressing Chennai-based journalists through video conferencing today from Bengaluru, he said the proposed Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Centre in space will function under the Department of Space, in effect as a regulator of private players in space. He added India is currently able to tap only about 3% of the global space market, and opening up the sector for private agencies will help India improve its global market share. His remarks come in the backdrop of the Union Cabinet giving its approval for private players in the sector within the regulatory framework of the Department of Space. More from our correspondent.
ISRO chief Dr. Sivan has asserted that the ISRO will play its role as the national space agency as usual and will concentrate even more in capacity building and research on cutting-edge space technologies. He said the prevailing lockdown has forced postponement of several launches and has delayed the ongoing works on manned spaceflight Gaganyaan, Chandrayaan-3 and the host of other application-oriented space missions. Dr. Shivan expressed confidence that private participation in space may augment the availability of communication transponders for Indian user agencies, as there is a huge shortfall now, forcing users to get it on lease from foreign players. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
Swarms of locusts have reached Gurgaon and Dwarka Expressway in Delhi today. Several areas in Gurgaon and Dwarka Expressway saw swarms of locusts covering the skies. Earlier in May, Delhi government had issued an advisory in view of the probable locust attack in the national capital. In the advisory, the city government had asked concerned authorities to spray insecticides and pesticides on standing crops, vegetation, plants, gardens and orchards to prevent an attack of locusts. The government had asked the authorities to organize awareness programs for public and farmers to prevent the attack of swarm of locusts in the city. It said as the swarm of locusts flies in daytime and rests during the night, it should not be allowed to rest at night. In Assam, incessant rains affected life in many districts in the state. Waterlogging has been reported at many urban areas in the state, including Guwahati, Nalbari, Borpeta Road, amongst others. 260,000 people have been affected in 15 districts due to floods. Nearly 20,000 people are taking shelter at relief camps. So far, 16 persons lost their lives due to floods in the state. Now, let us take a look at the weather updates for today. National capital Delhi is expected to have strong surface winds during daytime. Minimum temperature was 29 degrees Celsius and maximum will remain around 39 degrees. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature was 28 and maximum will be around 33. In Chennai, minimum temperature was 29 and maximum will be around 36. The metro city will have a generally cloudy sky. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with a possibility of moderate rain or a thunderstorm. Minimum temperature in the metropolis was 27, while maximum will be around 35 degrees. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, minimum temperature was 25 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while maximum will be around 37 degrees Celsius. The city is likely to have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards the afternoon or evening. In Srinagar, minimum temperature was 17, while maximum will be around 31 degrees. The city will have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards the afternoon or evening or night. In Gilgit, minimum temperature was 19 and maximum will be around 34. The sky will be partly cloudy. Muzaffarabad will have a partly cloudy sky with the possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. The city had a minimum temperature of 20, while maximum temperature will be around 36. In Hyderabad, rain or thunder showers would occur towards the evening or night. Minimum temperature was 26, while maximum will be around 34. Bengaluru experienced a minimum temperature of 21 and maximum is expected at 29 degrees. Guwahati is likely to have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature in the city was 23, while maximum will be around 28.
A letter circulating allegedly from Health and Family Welfare Ministry to Chief Secretaries of all states regarding online counselling and PG seat allotment. Press Information Bureau has termed this letter as fake. Government confirmed that no such letter has been issued by Health Ministry.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says timely initiatives of government and a people-driven fight has kept India at a better position in the fight against COVID-19. High-level group of ministers meet in New Delhi to discuss the status response and management of coronavirus pandemic in the country. Sero survey being conducted in the national capital to check the spread of coronavirus. President Ram Nath Kovind promulgates Banking Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2020. And India calls for reformed multilateralism to restore faith in meaningful and equal partnerships. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the Midday News.